big picture idea that we need to move from point A to point Z, that hopefully we can work on something to keep those in sync. Dave, you touched on accelerated growth. This is warp speed on the GPS. We're gonna go from point A to point Z very quickly by acquisition, and it certainly has a lot of positives. It is very fast. You can acquire technology, and Dave, in a minute I'll ask you about acquiring technology. Bringing in new blood in a company can be very, very useful. It can also work out very poorly. I've seen that both places. And if you're buying your competition, that doesn't necessarily hurt you either, does it? From my perspective, the downsides for our client base, it tends to be relatively expensive buying another company. So our our M&A practice is about 1/3 acquisition, and they tend to be much smaller transactions. That's simply because our clients, their net worth is tied up in their company. For them to go out and borrow money to go and buy a competitor is kind of counterintuitive. So that's that expense part. There's always the risk of overpaying. I think if you have a good team, you can minimize that, but markets change, and you could buy at exactly the wrong time. Everyone wants to sell at the right time, and no one wants to buy at the wrong time. So.
I always say on overpaying, you've never overpaid if it works. It's really expensive if it didn't work.
And what makes it work is the next one, the integration of the companies. And I tease that we have it really easy as the transaction lawyers. We'll get them to close and get them through the immediate post-closing machinations, but the real hard work is that integration of the companies. And then lastly, I have to be a nerd lawyer, contingent liabilities. You can buy a company for 500 grand, a small deal for maybe you're absorbing a new product. And you could get a contingent liability that would be worth 50 million. It could destroy your company. So you have to be very careful about that. And I'm not saying you don't do it, but you do structure it correctly, and you put in indemnifications and things that will protect you from that.